So initially, first 10 minutes, let me speak. Okay, if you have any questions, we'll discuss after 10 minutes. Let me close these files. Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O is a application name. Microsoft Dynamics 365 F&O is the application name. I'm a functional expert, but not technical expert. So I'm a functional expert, but not a technical expert. Okay, there are two classifications majorly, functional and technical. So I'm a functional expert, but not a technical expert. If you want to learn this application, you need to have domain knowledge first. The most important is domain knowledge. Domain knowledge or functional knowledge means what, where, when, which, why. If you have questions, then it is answers is domain knowledge. That means everything is real-time scenarios. Everything is real-time scenarios. And then dynamics and how to operate. Can you mute yourself, please? So Dynamics 365 F&O application, how to operate. Many people will think like, if I know how to operate, I can get into a job. No, you need to have like the real-time scenarios, domain knowledge, and Dynamics 365 how to operate. These two are together. And you need to have a little bit about technical knowledge. So this little bit technical knowledge means small thing like what is radio button, what is tab, what is drop down, what is text, those kind of things you need to understand. Then ERP concepts like ledger, subledger, and then enterprise level data. There are some topics you need to understand. And along with this all, you need to have some commerce knowledge. Some commerce knowledge also is required. So if you want to, suppose you are a non-commerce background person, suppose you have completed BTech, then you don't know about what is debit and what is credit. You should know debit and credit. Suppose you don't know debit and credit, but you know plus and minus. That is enough. Either you should know debit and credit, or you should know plus and minus. So if you don't know debit and credit, I will explain you, but you should know plus and minus. Example, suppose minus 45 plus 25. What is the value? If you are confusing, don't learn, don't join for finance. Minus 45 and plus 25. What is the value? So you don't know, then you cannot learn finance. Frankly, I'm speaking. So even though you have completed your 10th standard, and if you are already educated, if you are finished, you have finished like BTech, suppose, you can learn finance. It is not an issue. If you want to learn finance, if you know plus and minus, the difference, that is enough. I can teach you about what is the difference between debit and credit. What is the difference between debit and credit? I will teach you. Okay, so I will teach you all these things. This is my scope. And if you want to get a job, you need to have a communication skills. A good communication skills, you need to explain to the opposite person in English. And then education qualification, practice with the system, and opportunity in the market. These skills are in your hand. It is not in my hand. These are my scope. These are your scope. Together, it is you are going to get into a job. So with this training, you are going to gain 3 years experience knowledge. So the training will be 7 to 8 finance. 7 to 8 a.m. IST is a finance session. And today and tomorrow, it is 3 sessions. So it is Monday to Friday. The session will be Monday to Friday. It is 10 to 12 weeks. That means around 50 to 60 hours. Around 50 to 60 hours. Okay. First, I will explain you transactions. Then I will explain you masters. Then I will explain you setups and configurations. Then you are going to learn parameters. Then after 1 month, I will create a new company. It is new company means a sample project. I will show you one company creation process one time. You need to do at least 20 to 25 times the new company creation process. Okay. And I will show you happy paths, that is positive scenarios. If you are doing positive scenario, it will be posted successfully. The transaction will be success. That is fine. But negative paths you need to understand. Negative are error messages or warning messages. That error message and the warning messages will be orange and red color. That is your duty. Your duty is like getting an error message, and you need to read that error message, and you need to understand the error message, and you need to act on that error message. Is the main goal. Okay. So for environment access, you can approach Rajashekar. Rajashekar, his number is 94942548826. You can approach this guy. He will install in your laptop. He will take some money and he will provide the environment for practicing. If your laptop is not supporting, you can purchase WebLink. He will arrange this one. So these two, you can approach that guy. Okay. I'll share with you sample resume and sample interview questions later on. So my focus is your knowledge. I'm going to make you, suppose you joined as a fresher in a company and you have worked for 3 years, then how much knowledge you are going to gain, that much knowledge I will deliver to you with this training. Okay, with this training, you are going to understand. Okay. Any questions? Any questions related to this area? Fine. No questions. So if you want to learn, so this is the module you are going to learn, finance. In finance, general ledger, accounts payable, accounts receivable, cash and bank, fixed assets, taxes, credit and collections, and consolidation and budgeting. These all modules you are going to learn. Along with this one, little bit about trade and logistics, supply chain management part, trade and logistics, you are going to learn some little bit. So for all these things, I need at least 50 to 60 hours. Then this module you are. Second. Let me copy these files. Folder. So the training will be 7 to 8 finance session. 6 to 7 it is trade and logistics, supply chain management, and 8 to 9 it is warehouse management. So warehouse management you cannot learn directly. You can start with whether finance or SCM trade and logistics or both together. You can learn both together also. Okay, fine. So once you get into a job, suppose you are going to join in a software company. That is your goal. Your goal is you are going to join in a software company. That software company may be Accenture, maybe TCS, maybe Infosys, maybe Hitachi. Any company. There are so many companies. Hundreds of companies are there. Hundreds and thousands of companies are there in the market. Okay. So in that, you are joining in one company. So this software company is called Microsoft Partners. This company is called Microsoft Partners. Now, you are going to join, once you join in a software company, you will allocate it to one project. You will be allocated to one project. Even if you are listening it from your friends, project is assigned or not, project is assigned or not. Okay. So for you, it is project. For this software company, it is called client. It is called client. What is this client will do? They will purchase the material and they will sell the material. They will purchase the material, they will sell the material. For this purchasing, we need to do payment. That is accounts payable. Because you have received material from the vendor companies. These are called vendor companies. These are called customer companies. So this is software companies. This is client. And these are vendor organizations or supplier organizations. These are customer companies or customer organizations. So you are receiving material from the vendor, then you need to pay money. That is accounts payable. And you are selling material to the customer, so you need to receive money from the customer. That is receivable, accounts receivable. So it is money into the come into the picture. It is a finance. So accounts payable module, accounts receivable module. You need to learn. Next, you need to learn general ledger. What is the purpose of general ledger? Whether I'm getting profit or loss, I will calculate here in this module. So whenever you are doing this purchase and sales, you need to you need to pay taxes to the government. So tax module you need to learn. Then here also payment and receivable and payable, it is cash or bank. So either through check or cash you are going to do. For that you need to learn cash and bank management. Next, you want to control on expenditure, that is budget. You need to learn budgeting. And you need to learn fixed assets. Fixed assets means if you are running your business, you may have building, you may have furniture, you may have cars, you may have laptops, you need to arrange to the company employees. Those all are fixed assets. And then credit and collections, one more module, because you are paying, you are receiving money. If in case customer is not paying, you need to do follow up with the customer for credit and collections. So you are going to learn accounts payable module, accounts receivable module, cash and bank management, credit and collections, general ledger, tax, consolidation, fixed assets, budgeting. All these modules are part of finance. And some small extent here in trade elastics, you are going to learn small topic. That is small topics like how to item group. Some common topics you are going to learn. So even though you are joining for 7 to 8 finance for 10 days, next month, in the month of July, 10 days, you need to join 6 to 8, only for 10 days. Only for 10 days, 6 to 8. But regularly it is 7 to 8 only, but only for 10 days. I will combine both batches. Next month I will do it. I will combine both batches and I will explain. Okay, coming to the topic now. So if you want to understand, so I told you the way of teaching. I will teach you, my way of teaching is, first I will teach you transactions. My way of teaching is completely different. First I will teach you transactions. What is this transactions? What is this transactions? Transactions means vendor invoice, vendor payment, customer invoice, customer payment. Vendor invoice, vendor payment, customer invoice, customer payment. This is transactions. So how many ways we can do vendor invoice? One is invoice journal. Next one is purchase order to invoice. Next one is invoice register. Next, invoice pool. And next one is invoice approval. These are the 5 different ways to do a vendor. So why these many options are given? We need to understand. So that is real-time scenarios. As I told you, why, what, where, when. That is real-time scenario. So I have given you 5 different ways. Some more 5 options also there. Some more 5 options also there. So total vendor invoice can be done in 10 different ways. So if you want, these are the different ways. There are some more. Okay, it is not part of here. Landed cost module. You can use it. Okay, there are different ways. Landed cost module, using warehouse management, using transportation management. There are so many options. Okay, so your focus is now 5 different ways. Next, vendor payment. How can you do it? One is you can do cash payment, you can do bank payment or check payment. Customer invoices, how many ways we can do it? One is pretext invoice. Another one is customer invoice. Sorry, sales order to invoice. For customer payment, the same method you can do. Cash payment and check payment. These are the different ways, different transactions. These are transactions. So as I told you, our first focus is transactions. That means business user activity. But frankly, I'm speaking, these are I have not done in the live environment. I have total 24 years of experience. In the live environment, I have not done these transactions in my life. I never did it. Then why you are learning? You need to teach to accountants. You need to teach to business users. If you want to teach them, you need to learn these things. So in the live environment, these transactions I never posted in my 24 years of experience. Okay, but we need to test it. We need to train some other people. We need to provide training to some other people. That is called business users or end users. Okay, for them, we are learning these things. So your task is this one. Company creation process, parameters, setups, configurations, masters is your task. Transaction is not your task at all. Transactions is not your task. But ultimately, this is the final goal. To do these things, what are the material you need to understand? These things you'll understand slowly. Without understanding transactions, you cannot understand all these things. Okay, so these things you are going to learn later. First, you are learning the focus on business user, whatever he is doing, that we are going to learn. So to learn this one, here, you need to imagine this is your company. Even though you are working in a company called software company, you need to imagine this is your company. USMF is a company. You are running your business and you are purchasing washing machines and you are selling washing machines. You are purchasing laptops, you are selling laptops. You are purchasing mobiles, you are selling mobiles. You need to imagine like this. This is your company. Then only you can understand. Many people will think like, for this vendor, this is a customer. Why it is required? For you, what is this? That's it. Don't make confusion yourself. Many people will confuse a lot. For vendor, you are the customer. Don't look at this view. Look at you are running your business. Always if you want to learn any ERP, it is not only Dynamics, whether it is a SAP, whether it is a Oracle apps, whether it is if you are learning Tally, Wings, Focus, any ERP. If you want to learn ERP, first you need to imagine this is my company. I'm running my business. I'm purchasing material. I'm selling material. Then you can understand easily. For these purchases, you need to pay money to the vendor, and you are going to receive money from the customer. If you imagine like this is your company, then you can easily understand than any ERP. I'm not talking about Dynamics ERP, any ERP. If you want to learn any ERP, you need to understand like you are running a business, you are purchasing material from the vendors. These are called vendor companies or vendor organizations, and you are selling material to the customers. These are called customer organizations. And for this, you are going to pay money and you are going to collect money. Okay. Any doubts till now? Any questions, please? Anyone? Any questions? I hope no questions. Fine. So let me go to the application. So I'm closing this application. I'm opening freshly. You need to click on browser and you need to enter username and password. So here it is not asking me username and password because it is a trial version. Okay. So this is the application, how to open. So you need to click on browser and you need to click on the link, URL link, and it will give you option to enter username and password. In real time scenario, you need to enter username and password. Okay, then it will open this form. Then you can click on here. There are so many companies. There are so many companies. Okay, Microsoft has provided sample companies. Microsoft has provided sample companies. In this, you can choose any company, but better to learn from USMF company. In USMF company, it will be the setups will be there, and easily you can understand USMF company. Okay, so if you look at this one, there are so many companies starting with B. These are created by me to explain the batches. So B009, B0010, 11, 13, 14, all I have created. Okay, so for practicing, first initially you need to do USMF. You need to understand from USMF. Okay, that is the reason I have written here. This is USMF company is your company. So software company, they will use the word client. For you, it is called project. But for learning purpose, this is your company. Simply, you need to imagine you are purchasing mobiles and you are selling mobiles. You are purchasing washing machines, you are selling washing machines. You are purchasing furniture, you are selling furniture. Anything you need to imagine. So if you are running your business, then what is this invoice journal? Invoice journal means it is invoice journal means it is expense items. Expense items you are purchasing. What do you mean by expense items? Suppose water bottles. So if you are running your business, you need to arrange water bottles to your employees. That is minimum courtesy. Otherwise, how can they run? So water bottles you need to purchase. That is expense item. And you are purchasing like tissue papers. Okay, you are purchasing notepads. So water bottles. You are purchasing pens. You are purchasing notebooks, papers, A4 stationery. Tissue papers. You need to arrange. You need to arrange all these things to your employees. Then only they will run. They will stay in your company. If you are not providing facilities, they will leave your company. Am I right? So that is expense items. So if I want to do invoice journal, how to do it? First one is invoice journal. First one is invoice journal. Okay, where we can do it? Accounts payable module. Accounts payable module. Collapse all. Invoices. Invoice journals. Okay. So Lokesh, if you don't mind, your video is on, camera is on. You can mute your camera. There is a camera button. You can click on there. It will be muted. Yeah. Fine. So accounts payable module. Accounts payable module. Collapse all. Invoices. Invoice journal. So let me write down the path. Accounts payable module. Invoices. Invoice journal. Accounts payable module. Collapse all. Invoices. Invoice journal. This is expense items. You need to click on new button. Select from the drop down AP invoice. New button on AP invoice. Go to lines. Okay. So now the date is coming from somewhere else. From where it is coming, I will discuss with you later. How to create a company, I will explain you. Next, voucher number is coming from somewhere else. From where it is coming, you will understand later. Now you need to select from which vendor you have purchased. You are purchasing material. Suppose this ACME office supplies. You are purchasing from this company, ACME office supplies. So now you are purchasing water bottles. Okay, it is $25. Now vendor will give you invoice copy for this water bottle. He will give you invoice copy. That invoice copy you need to enter here. An invoice date. Okay. Next, this is offset account is expenses. Office expenses you have selected because you are purchasing water bottles. Click on save. Then automatically it will update here 25. It is credit 25 and debit 25. Okay. Now, once it is saved, see we have entered vendor account number and vendor invoice number we have entered, vendor invoice date, what is the amount, and water bottles we are purchasing, and we have selected offset account, some expenses. It is office expenses. Office expenses I have selected. Now you can click on. Then if you post like this, if you verify the voucher, it is expenses account data to vendor account credit. This is office expenses account data to vendor balance account. So at the time of invoice journal, the postings. Expenses account data to vendor account credit. Okay. So how can I remember? Suppose I'm not a science background, I'm not a commerce background guy, I'm a science background. How can I remember this debit and credit? Remember always Debit means positive. Credit means negative. Now, so many people will have doubts in their mind. Okay. So, for this one, we need to understand 3 golden rules. You need to understand, if you want to understand these things, 3 golden rules. 3 golden rules. Okay. So, first one is personal account. Next, real account. Next, nominal account. Of course, this is not dynamics. It is finance. It is commerce. So now there are so many people joined already from commerce education. So you can guide me. What is personal account? What is real account? What is nominal account? Personal account means
Debit the receiver, credit the receiver.
debit the receiver, credit the giver. How can I remember this one? How can I apply this one? If, like, customer is receiving material from us. So this is receiver. So debit the receiver means here customer the receiver. Customer the receiver. Because from this is my company, this is my company, this is receiver. Okay, fine. So debit the receiver. Who is giver? For us, who is giving? Vendor. So vendor is the giver. So here, for better understanding, the material receiver. I'm adding this point for your better understanding. This is my point. Material I have added. I cannot do it like this. Rule is rule, but for better understanding, I'm adding so that you can understand easily. Debit the receiver, credit the giver. Here, debit the receiver means the material receiver. Who is receiving? Customer. And who is giving? Vendor. The material giver, the material receiver. Understood the personal account? Okay, next, real accounts. Can anyone give me a real account? What is this?
Debit what comes in, credit what goes in.
Debit what comes in, credit what goes out. Here, so comes in. The money comes in. Here, money is going out. Right? So here I'm adding small money. Here I'm adding money. Okay, I will come to this point. So this is for material. Like the personal accounts is about material. This real accounts is for money. For money. Okay. Next, nominal accounts.
Sorry to interrupt you. I think for real accounts, we can also say debit all assets and expenses, credit all liabilities and income also. That will be even more easy to learn.
So we'll definitely come to that point. Give me 1 or 2 minutes. I'll come to this point. We'll discuss definitely. Okay, fine. Next, nominal accounts.
Debit all expenses and losses, credit all incomes
Debit
and gains.
all expenses and losses. Credit all incomes and gains. Okay. Here the confusion. Expenses is showing positive. But expenses is not a positive, it is losses, am I right? So how can I remember? These two are, suppose X plus something is equal to Y. If this is moving from this side to this side, something X equal to Y minus something. Agree? This plus will be moved this side to this side minus. So now this is opposite side. So now I'm getting into pure commerce. Okay, it is commerce related, but it is required. Without commerce knowledge also you can become a functional consultant, but I don't want my students should be expertise without commerce. Okay, so for that I'm taking one file, pure commerce. This is whatever I'm speaking here, commerce. So chart of accounts will be classified into two parts, balance sheet and profit and loss account. So this side positive will move this side negative. This side negative will be moved to this side positive. Okay, these things I will discuss with you tomorrow in detail. Okay, this trial balance you will understand clearly. In the coming sessions, I will discuss with you clearly. Now, we understood if it is a vendor invoice, expenses account debtor to vendor account credit. Okay, how can I remember this one? So expenses debit, vendor account credit, the giver. Okay, so if it is invoice journal is posted, expenses account debtor to vendor account credit, this is rule. Expenses account debtor to vendor account credit, the giver. Fine. Next one is vendor payment or check payment, vendor payment. Second one is vendor payment. If you are doing vendor payment, what happens? Let me show you where it is, what it is. The system. Accounts payable, collapse all, payments, vendor payment journal. Click new, select the vendor payment, click on lines. Select the vendor. Now you can click on settle transactions. Already we have generated invoice. $25. For that I'm doing payment. $25 I'm doing payment. Click OK. At the time of invoice, vendor account credit. Okay. Now at the time of vendor payment, it is vendor account debit. Vendor account debit. Of course, because of some discounts, it is coming 24, but I will make it 25. Okay, $25. So now I'm selecting cash. Suppose I'm selecting petty cash. Let me remove this check. You will understand slowly this one later. I'm selecting cash payment. Okay, then automatically debit and credit is applied. So here, at the time of vendor payment, vendor account debit, cash or bank account will be credited. So that is what goes on. Credit what goes out. Here, my money is going out. My money is going out. Okay, so now I'm posting. If you go to the voucher, you can see here vendor account data to vendor balance account data to positive, petty cash account. So that's what I have written here. Vendor account data to cash account credit. So money is going out. Okay, the path is accounts payable, payments, vendor payments. Okay, there are so many people in the market, they don't know about this debits and credits. They became a finance consultant. I saw many people, but I don't want my students who learn from me should not be like without commerce knowledge. I will explain you these things, debits and credits, at least 1 week, 10 days, so that you can become expert in accounting terminology also. So here, at the time of invoice, expenses account data to vendor account credit. Here, this is expenses account data to vendor account credit. Simply, you need to remember, for vendor, I need to pay. I need to pay money. It is a liability. Oh, in Telugu it is appu. Telugu it is appu. Okay, oh, liability. We need to pay. And here I am paying money. If I am paying money, my money will be decreased. Cash will be decreased. Suppose I have 1,000 in my pocket. If I have given 25, it will become 975. That is minus. So at the time of invoice, vendor account credit. At the time of vendor payment, vendor account will be debited. So net balance is 0. So whenever you are doing this one, you are applying this rule. Expenses account data to vendor account credit. So let me make color so that you can understand. Okay, and this is at the time of vendor payment, like this one. This color. Expenses account data to vendor account credit. So here at the time of vendor payment, you are applying another rule. What goes out? Because at the time of vendor invoice, it is vendor credit, it should be nullified to. Understood the rules? Any confusion, any questions here? So how to do it is very simple. As I told you, if you look at this one, I told you how to do it is simple in the system. But domain knowledge is important. This is, we are discussing about real-time scenario domain knowledge. Whenever I'm explaining in my teaching, 60% will be this one, and 40% will be this one. That is the reason it will take for me around 10 to 12 weeks. In some other institutes, they will teach you 4 to 5 weeks. They will finish it in 4 to 5 weeks. But I cannot, because I need to focus on this one. This is most important. How to is very simple. If you open this application, how to do it, you can see, you can finish it in 1 minute. But you need to understand what exactly, why we are doing what we are doing. We need to understand. Okay, these golden rules, I will discuss with you about debits and credits at least 2 weeks, 1 week, 2 weeks. I will explain you these debits and credits. Don't get panic. You will understand very clearly. So whenever you are studying in college, at that time, the lecturer may explain theoretically, but he has not shown practically from the system. Now you are learning from the system, because he will not work as a, actually lecturer will not work as a like a ERP consultant, but we are going to work. So we are implementing these golden rules in the transaction so that you can understand here. Let me show you once again this vendor invoice, vendor payment. Simple one. Accounts payable, collapse all, invoices, invoice journal. Click on new button. Select the journal name. Click on lines. Select the vendor account. And you are purchasing, suppose, notebooks or pens. You are purchasing pens. It is $30. And invoice number, you need to enter invoice number. Because this is invoice copy you have received from the vendor. That is, you are updating here. So you are updating offset account expenses, office expenses. So post, save. Okay, so here we can post. Now if you go to voucher, so expenses account data to expenses account data to vendor credit. It is converted into 29.35. What is the reason? This is, you are going to learn in coming sessions. This is vendor is Canadian dollars. Vendor is in Canadian dollars. It is, our company is in US dollars. That is the reason exchange rate is coming to the picture. What is this? You will understand slowly. Okay, let me do once again. Vendor invoice, accounts payable, invoices, invoice journal. Click on new button. Select the journal name. Go to lines. So date from where it is coming, voucher number from where it is coming, you will understand next month, not now. Select the vendor account from which vendor you are purchasing, and invoice number, invoice date, and what exactly you are purchasing. Suppose notepads. It is $40. And here sees office expenses. Now it is $40. Debit and credit is $40, $40. You are posting. How to do it is very simple, but what is the purpose you are doing? What is debit? What is credit? Everything you need to understand. So expenses account data to, this is office expenses. Expenses account data to vendor account credit, vendor balance account credit. That's what we learned here. Expenses account data to vendor account credit. What is the golden rule? It is this account golden rule. Nominal account, all expense, debit all expenses and losses. And credit means here the material giver. Because you are taking the material, like whether it may be washing, whether it may be tissue papers or water bottles or notebooks or pens, anything you are receiving, the material too. Vendor payment means accounts payable, collapse all, payments, vendor payment journal. Click on new, select the journal name. So this is, we need to configure. How to configure, you will understand next month. This is journal name creation. How to create, you will understand next month. Go to lines. Select the journal name. Suppose vendor. Now you can click on settle transactions. Just now, whatever you have posted, that will show you here invoice. You can select. Otherwise, you can enter directly balance debit $40 and you are paying cash. So you need to select ledger and then into cash. Petty cash, you need to select 110180. It is petty cash. That means cash you are paying. Save. So $40 debit and credit post. Okay. If you verify the voucher, here vendor account data to petty cash account credit. Vendor balance account data to petty cash account credit. How to apply this rule means it is what goes out. Credit means what goes out. The money is going out. So within the bracket I have added. Okay. Any questions, any doubts? And one more thing, my mobile number, I hope you know already, 9866669989. This is my WhatsApp number and this is my LinkedIn profile, AX Satya. And this video, whatever I have provided training now, I will share with you in YouTube. In YouTube, you can find AX Satya. Okay, if you type AX Satya in YouTube channel, you will find my channel. There I will upload today and tomorrow. For today and tomorrow session, I'll upload in YouTube for today and tomorrow. And from Monday onwards, whoever is paid fee, for them only, I will arrange video recordings. Yeah. Any questions, please?
Would you share
Sir, while booking,
Yes, please. Srinivas?
So would you share any daily running notes or we have to write?
No. I will share with you this recordings. I will share with you recordings. I will share with you notepads also. These documents, all these documents I will share with you.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Rupendra, you are speaking something.
sir, while booking vendor invoice in in application, that quantity tab is missing, sir.
Sorry?
Quantity, like while booking the vendor invoice, there is a quantity, like how many notepads we have purchased, like 1 or 2.
So let me show you. So this is expense items. So for expense items, we are not going to book any quantity, not required. But if it is a purchase order, next step you will understand after some time. Let me show you. If it is a purchase order invoice, we need how many quantity purchased. In this one, it is not, quantity is not important. If you want, you can enter quantity in the description. But for invoice journal, it is expense items. There is no much importance for quantity. Okay. So purchase order invoice, one more actually I have missed. Pending vendor invoice. All these things you will understand later. Okay. At that time, we'll discuss about numbers. Whatever you are asking, how many quantity you are purchasing, We'll discuss this one later. Yeah. Any more questions, please? Yeah. Kirti, you want to speak anything? Yeah. Any more questions, team? No questions? Okay. So as I told you, if you have any questions or any clarifications, if you want to speak with me, you can approach me in WhatsApp. My mobile number is 9866669989. I think you know already. You have my number. If not, you can look at this one. This is my number. You can ping me in WhatsApp so that after 9 o'clock I will be available because 8 to 9 I have another session now.
Excuse me.
So 8 to 9, there is one more session now. I need to discuss. After that, I will be free. If you have any questions, any doubts, you can discuss with me one-to-one if you want. And today, tomorrow, it is free session. And from Monday onwards, you need to pay. Whoever is paid fee, those people only will be allowed into the sessions. No questions, we can wind up the session. Yeah, Ali, if you want to speak anything, let me know.
Yeah, I want to know what is the fee.
So, sorry, Ali.
Fee structure.
The fee structure. So you can ping me in WhatsApp. I will discuss with you.
Okay.
Yeah. You can ping me in my WhatsApp. So as I told you, 9866669989. You can ping me. Anything else, please? Nothing, then we can wind up the session now. You can use the same link for tomorrow also. You can join for both SCM and finance sessions. Tomorrow also free of session. You can join. We'll connect once again tomorrow morning, same time. See you all. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you.